Hey there, I'm Lainey Lipsky, parenting coach and master teacher. Parenting is hard. I totally get it, and I'm here to make it easier for you. Especially if you had a tough childhood or you've got a tough child now, I've got your back. So take a deep breath, relax, and check out this clip from my coaching group this week. And remember to hit like and subscribe if you like my vibe. Let's get started. So the question has to do with my win, which was allowing the kids to stay home even though it was clear once you decided that they were not sick and you decided to not give up your day for them, just to be clear what the win was, okay? While you made it work, you're not happy that they kind of took advantage of you. You want to believe them and trust them, but they kind of took advantage of the moment. What's a good way to deal with this? It's a good question. So, so many parents, myself included, when my kids first sort of claim that they're sick, I'm like, are they faking it? Because I mean, I think about myself in school. I didn't love school. Did I fake being sick? Maybe a couple of times, but not that often. So it's not like I'm thinking, oh, I faked being sick all the time, and therefore my kids are going to do that too. But that's often like parents' first reactions. I'm not really sure where that comes from. I think honestly the that you handled it really well, which is that you said, we're going to treat it like it's a real sick day. There's no TV, there's no screen time. You're doing schoolwork while they're at home. Um, as far as the feeling that you're being taken advantage of, I mean, how can we reframe that, so that you don't feel like you were a sucker? I think that's the biggest, not the biggest, but it's one big fear that parents have is that my kids are going to take advantage of me. I'm going to be a sucker. And like, I'm going to give them an inch and they're going to take a mile. So let's say, for the sake of just talk today and answering this question, that they did take advantage of you, right? They got away with something. They both stayed home. They took advantage of you. And like, what is the fear behind that? That it's going to go on like that, or it just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to be treated like a sucker and to be like, oh, I totally got taken advantage of here, right? But what if we removed any baggage, any baggage from that? Like, you know, are you a sucker always? Probably not. Do you always fall for, is it day in and day out, you're falling for the same thing again and again? No, you're not, right? So, are they going to get away with it from time to time? Yeah, they are. Part of it is them testing boundaries. It's totally normal. I always check in if my kids are clearly not wanting to go to school. If there's something that they're trying to avoid at school, I'd rather that they just be direct with me about that and we try to figure out what's going on instead of them trying to literally avoid it. Because that's just, oh, I don't want my kids to grow up thinking like, well, if I just avoid it, then that's a good thing. I want them to know how to deal with uncomfortable situations. But back to this idea of feeling like a sucker, like in your head, if you had like a score sheet, and you're thinking, well, my kids got away with it this time, and you give them a little like one in their column, is their column like filled with points and yours is empty? Probably not. I think it becomes our ego really taking it hard that like they won or they got away in this situation with something. So the reframing is probably around thinking about it as a winning losing proposition and to just think, today they're having an at home day and um, they got away with something, but it doesn't have to be at the cost that the cost is coming to you. It doesn't have to be at a cost to you, right? And you're saying that the frustrating feeling is that it's your time. Absolutely. So to make it clear to them that you're not available today, like they're clearly not sick. They don't need you nursing them and making them soup and all of that stuff, right? That's been established. And you can even be, they're old enough where you can say, listen, you guys clearly are not sick, and I have stuff that I need to do today. And so, maybe you have some frozen meal that they can make, or there's sandwich stuff, or there's a can of soup. Like, these are things that they're capable of doing for themselves without it impinging on your day. I think the trick here, what I'm getting at, is that rather than taking it to heart and taking it as like you're losing some sort of competition with them, or you're losing face with them, or you're losing your day. um, it doesn't have to be a win-lose setup. Yeah. So what if them being home didn't impinge on your day? You knew that they weren't on their screens. You've shut down the TV. You've shut down the things that you need to really monitor, right? Beyond that, like, what else is there to do? Like, can you check in on them from time to time, or just leave them alone for a few hours? Because what else are they going to do? Play with Legos or read? Like, it's a quiet day, right? It's like when you had the blackout a couple of months ago, right? It's a blackout day for them. So could they go and play basketball? Sure. Are they going to want to stay home and play basketball with each other every day instead of going to school? I guarantee they will not. It's just not that enticing. So don't let it take over your time is my advice here. Don't let it take over your day. Can you do that? Can you be home and they're home and you're not there, you're not available? I heard myself say this to my one of my kids over the phone the other day, and somebody was in the room listening to me say it. Um, my daughter was out for a run, and she she called saying that she couldn't make it home from her run. She runs with her phone in case I don't even want her to run with her phone, but she did. And she called and she said, my stomach is really hurting, and I'm out. And I was in the middle of a professional meeting, and even though I was home, look, if she had, like, I wasn't available. That's what I said to her. I said, I'm not available. And she was really upset with me. And she said, your work is more important than me. And I said, that is not the case. But I think she wasn't far from home. She wasn't bleeding. She hadn't been hit by a car. She hadn't, these are low bars, right? But like, I'm just saying she had some pain in her stomach, and the default was to call me and ask me to bail her out. And I just said, I'm not available for that. I'm giving you the details a little bit because I don't want you to think I'm horrible or heartless. You have to know what the details are in your own situation and what your kids are capable of doing by themselves and what they're not, and what's safe for them and what's not safe for them. I'm just telling you that it's an okay thing to say to your kids when you feel it is right. I'm not available for things that you have normally thought I was available for. I'm not available today, or I'm not available for the next 3 hours, or I'm not available, you know, from going forward. Like, you're in bed, it's your bedtime, and now I'm not available. Like, I need to do my own thing. Um, don't be afraid to try that out and just say that you're not available, and see if that phrase helps you protect your own time. I really hope this video was helpful to you. Feel free to share it and use the comments to ask a question or to request a topic for the future. We've got links below for free support with things like discipline, teaching your kids how to be more gritty, and how to be more patient with your kids, plus access to my free coaching group. So be sure to check those links out. And remember, we get one shot at parenthood. Our kids only get one shot at their childhood, so let's make it count. Click like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.